What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Team Hold So Rare. It's game week 22. I even put up the live before lock background to match the WNBA hoodie this morning, but it is time to dive into some of the best value plays heading in to game week 22. Also, we got a Paris game this game week. We know Sorare's based out of France. We know some people are going over there. We've got some of our ambassadors. I think Mikal Bridges and Donovan Mitchell's going to be over there. Does that mean we're going to get a special contest or something? Maybe some commemorative cards? I don't know. But exciting times over on Sorare. We're on a little bit of a heater with some of our value plays that we've been shouting out. So I appreciate everyone tuning in, interacting with the video. So do me a favor, if this is your first time here or you're a returner, make sure you subscribe to the Team Hold So Rare channel, like this video, and drop a comment. Who's your favorite value play heading into game week 22? And one last piece of business, just a reminder, we do live before lock before each and every game week. So that's Mondays and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry for you international people who don't do that kind of timing. I think that's 17:30 off the top of my head. But each and every game week, we break down the slate, the NBA injury news, projections from our friends. We have guests from the community come on, and we also give away rare tier cards. Who's not to love that? All right, but enough of me yapping. Let's get in. Game week 22 on So Rare NBA. I know in the past we've only done plays that have a cap of 20 or less, but we've mixed it up the last couple of game weeks, and I just want to focus on the players that have the most value on the slate. And we're going back to the well with a couple of these, and they make me a little uncomfortable. However, they have performed very well recently, and so we're going to go right back to some of these plays. We the North, Toronto, recently acquired Emmanuel Quickly. IQ has only had a few games with the Raptors, but it's been working out nicely. As you can see, his limited card here has a low ask of $15, but look at his last two performances. He played the Grizzlies in his first game, dropped a 43, then a 36 with the Sacramento against the Sacramento Kings, and they have the Golden State Warriors today. His cap's only 26, and he's projecting north of 40 fantasy points. Now, again, when we look at the price points of these IQs, yeah, I mean, it is getting a little bit expensive now, right? So if you are someone who's like, well, I don't know if I want to go out there and buy it, or say you've had this card, you've played it a couple of times, you know his cap's going to start going up, I totally understand moving off IQ, but just from strictly value, IQ becomes one of the best plays this game week. We're going to go back to the well again with another play that we threw out last week. Also, this hoodie would match their colors because we're going back to Phoenix and we're looking at Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's got a cap of 25 right now and is projecting to get just south of 40, right around that 38 to 39 range. We can look at Beal's most recent performance. Now, again, that was impacted by KD, who's missed some time. He's questionable for today's game on Sunday, but I still think Bradley Beal's role stays pretty much the same. You can see in his last couple of games, right, he dropped a 33 against the Clippers and then a 46 against the Heat. Again, that one without Kevin Durant. They also have the Grizzlies today, so maybe we get another Beal performance. And again, if any sort of injuries or anything like that happen today on Sunday, because I'm recording this before the Sunday games, keep that in mind. But Bradley Beal continues to just cook since coming back from that injury. Now, it is Bradley Beal. He could get hurt at any time. He might sneeze funny, and then that becomes a problem. But you can see, again, similar to Emmanuel Quickly, his price is probably inflated, but we've got a few more game weeks before he really starts getting screwed over by his cap. But we get a cap of 25 for his limited tier card. You can see for year 2, it's right around $23, and for his rare tier 1, right at 45. So Bradley Beal continues to be a great play. All right, we're going to get somebody new this time. We talked about this team quite a bit. The Detroit Pistons, Jalen Duren, the second-year big man, who was off to a crazy monster start, was just stuffing stats at the beginning of the season before getting hurt. Yes, Detroit's bad. I know you want to sweat these guys, right? When you put them in your lineup, you're like, man, I can't wait to watch this game tonight. No one's excited to watch Detroit Pistons basketball. However, Jalen Duren continues to be a great play. You can see his limited card right here is down to $12. His rare at 48. He's got a cap of 33. He's projecting for 45 fantasy points, maybe even more if you get a ceiling. He does have 2 games this game week. It is a back-to-back, which kind of stinks. If you want to look at his most recent performances, the big man from Detroit, you can see he dropped a 34, look at actually his last, what's this, 6, 41, 36, 40, 29, 34, 35. That's pretty consistent, right? So, I mean, maybe you're not seeing the ceiling of 50 that you'd like to see from some of your guys, especially with a cap of 33. However, very rarely is he actually screwing you over. So I do like Jalen Duren. They do have 2 nice matchups this game week. And something that we said about Detroit in the most recent value hunting episode, their rotations have become pretty condensed. We're going to talk about another Detroit guy in a second. But if you have someone like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Bojan Bogdanovic, I mean, those are full green light, go, go, go. You can play those guys because Monty Williams, you even heard Troy Weaver, the GM, saying they want to be buyers at the trade deadline to try to bring in some more vets so they can win games now. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing, Troy? But like guys like Jaden Ivey, Oscar Thompson, those make me a little bit more nervous because Monty's been all over the place with those minutes. However, these group of Pistons are out there. They're trying to win. And I think you can go out there and roll them out each and every game week until further notice, as they say. All right, next up, we're going to Dallas. Now, this one is a little tricky because Derek Lively, the rookie that Dallas traded up to grab this past NBA draft, he's been playing really good. They have 2 games this game week, right? He's got a cap of 23. He projects for right around 32 to 34 points. The one thing I will say is he missed both games this game week, I believe. I think they play again today, and I don't think he is playing. You're seeing there's no rare tier cards on the market. That is interesting. And his low ask for his limited Year 2 card is right over $21. So you can see, right, he dropped 29, 26, 26. Did not oh, wait, did he not? I thought he missed the last game. Did he play the most recent game? That was Wednesday. Okay, yeah. So he didn't play his Friday game. He's got a game today against the Mavericks. And I don't think he's playing in this one either. So we have to get some more positive news about Lively before we throw him in there. But even if you don't play him this game week, honestly, it might be more beneficial for us if he doesn't play this game week, because then maybe no one's out there buying it. We see his price come down a little bit, and then we know to snipe for the following game week or game week after that. Derek Lively, like the perfect pick and roll partner for Luka. He just lobs and runs, just rim runs, gets some boards, couple blocks, steal here and there. So Derek Lively is going to be a great play, honestly, for like years to come. As long as you're paired up with Luka, I think that's a great situation to be in. If you want to be frisky with it, and we don't have the news if he's going to play or not, the good news is they don't have a back-to-back this game week. So, if he doesn't play whenever their first game is, say it's on Monday, you're not like, oh, shit, he's probably not playing Tuesday too. So you do have a little bit of run there. So there we go. Derek Lively's next up. And the last one we're going to call up is Bol Bol. We talked about him quite a bit in Live Before Lock. This play is all over the place. I don't recommend this for your champion lineups. Honestly, your contenders either. But if we have a chance to talk about Bol Bol, we're going to do it. He's got a cap of 6, projects for like 13 to 14 points. Listen, his minutes are limited. He's not getting out there and playing like 25 minutes. We saw him drop that last game week 20, a 20 and a 24 spot, then follow that up with 12, and then we'll see what he does against Memphis. Now, a lot of this, I think people were going to say, well, dude, Kevin Durant wasn't out there. That's the only reason he was playing. That part of that's true. I mean, I think with KD coming back, his ceiling is limited quite a bit. However, prior to KD missing time, Frank Vogel, the coach of the Suns, came out there and was like, actually, Bol Bol's in the rotation now, baby. So I do still think you can take a shot on Bol Bol if you want to. 2 more guys that I didn't bother picking up showing you on the screen here because I think we've talked about them at length. And I'll do like an expensive guy and a cheap guy. Alec Burks, another Detroit Piston who continues to project well. We got a little nervous with him this past game week where he was questionable before Friday's game. Then he had an okay game on Friday. They play again today, so hopefully he gets your ceiling. But he is a part of that condensed Detroit rotation. The other guy we got to shout out is Kyrie Irving, who was incredible against the Blazers in the first matchup in the last game week with Luka, right? I think he scored like 60 rare fantasy points, at least from the rare tier side of things, prior to the blowout. And then on Friday, they play the Blazers again. This time, no Luka. They still blew out the Blazers, and Kyrie was great. So those 2 guys really stand out as great plays. Anybody, I'm just scrolling around to see if there's anybody else that really pops. We're at this weird point in the season right now where it seems to be a lot of the same guys. We saw Josh Hart was projecting really well this past game week. He smashed on Friday as well. So again, I think we're starting to see some routines. We're starting to understand some of the rotations, the usage of these new situations, some of those players. One more thing to note too, and this is just like big picture so rare. We got about, 4 weeks left, 5 weeks left before the NBA trade deadline hits. Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, he's someone that's noted to potentially be on the move, which could impact, his usage. If he goes to somewhere like Dallas or like Golden State, he's probably not getting the same opportunities offensively that he's getting with Toronto right now. But that's somebody to pay attention to. The Utah situation, right? Like if all of a sudden Jordan Clarkson gets moved, which is the rumor, your Keontae George, Colin Sextons, even Lauri Markkanen and John Collins, like all all of those guys get a bump in usage. And then, of course, there's Golden State, right? We saw Kuminga complain to Shams about his usage and having lost trust in Steve Kerr. If Kuminga gets moved, I mean, we saw then play 36 minutes the very next day. So the Warriors need Kuminga, but I don't know if the vibes are too bad. Maybe they move off him to try to get a vet. If that happens and Kuminga goes to a bad team, all of a sudden he becomes like an incredible play, because if he, he's been somewhat productive, only playing like 22 to 26 minutes a game. All of a sudden he's playing 35 and the ball's in his hands. I like that. So we'll have to pay attention as we get closer towards the trade deadline. But I think that does it for Game Week 22 Value Hunting episode. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. Let me know in the comments who you are sniping for Game Week 22. And if you're going to be in Paris, enjoy some basketball. We love to see that. Appreciate everyone being here. We'll see you for Live Before Lock on Monday. We are out.